And hello, welcome to Pass the Remote, the TV show podcast here on CBC. Yeah, it's been a while. I'm Joe. Over there is Mitch, and you can find us on Twitter, Halftime Joe, Mitch692. Mitch is getting close to that 1K.
I'm two away.
Mitch is close. Go help Mitch get to 1K, which by the time this comes up, actually, he might be at 1K soon. Who knows?
Over anyway, push me over there.
But yeah, just go there, follow and help him on that. But yeah, as I said, it has been a while. I did want to mention it. Mitch told me before the show, you should probably mention that we've been away. I was like, all right, I didn't think I had to, and then felt like I actually did have to. So the other casts wanted to make the announcement, should be coming back soon as well. Book the Ticket, the film podcast, the Off the Page, the comic podcast, which is the one we get the most of. Like, of that, we want to hear it. Like, people really are more vocal about that one the most, which is, I don't know, I guess it's because it's kind of the only place we talk comics, actual. So that
We don't if you want to know about the gaming one, that's all down to Tristan.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Tristan wants to do with that one, but I imagine
if everything goes right, the other podcasts such as Book the Ticket and Off the Page should be continuing as normal along with the CBC podcast, the general podcast here on CBC. So look forward to that. I would say follow us, Google us. It's been a while since I said that because, we have Twitter, Patreon, Facebook. Everything is going to start going more like how it used to be, because I haven't necessarily seen how it is now, but I'm sure it isn't necessarily the same. So I've seen some people ask some questions like, when is this coming back? When is that? Everything should be coming back to normal as soon as possible. So it could be this week, could be next week. Hopefully you'll start seeing everything the way it was before. So anything else, Mitch?
No, I think that's it.
All right, I just wanted to mention that off the bat. And yeah, so I really wanted to get into this podcast today because, of course, we're going to be talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. later. We have a little bit of news that I guess hasn't necessarily been mentioned on the general podcast, the CBC podcast. So I figured we could get started with that, which we'll be talking about the Doom Patrol TV series coming to the DC universe, which is the streaming service for DC. Okay, cool. I haven't even seen how Doom Patrol is on Titans. Am I supposed to be excited that they're going to be on there when I haven't seen them?
Yeah. Really?
It doesn't help with what happened, not recently with Titans, but this year. Remember with the whole Raven and Beast Boy leaks and kind of everybody going against it because of those. And I don't know if I'm supposed to feel confident. You know what I'm saying?
Don't you mean Starfire? Because the Raven one, you just saw the wig.
True. It's there's Starfire, Raven, and Beast Boy that all came out they were set leaks, and they're different from the official photos of Robin, Hawk, and Dove. So that's why there was probably a negative reaction, because it wasn't official photos and it wasn't on their.
I noticed that the characters they didn't show us were the ones that need CGI.
Sure.
No, it's clearly an Inhuman situation where it's like, oh no, the CGI is not finished. It's this, it's that. You'll see it, and it's gonna look how it's gonna look. I don't think it's gonna look much better than what we've seen. But
I personally inside, I want to feel really excited because Titans. It sounds like it could be good, especially from the first original photos and kind of seeing some of the synopsis stuff like that. Doom Patrol, I've been waiting to see that in a live action, and you have Swamp Thing that could be happening. So there's a lot of good things announced, but I just would love to see something already. I'm already past the excited for announcement stage. I want to see something now.
Yeah, when's it supposed to be launching?
Titans. Let me see. Okay.
Titans is the first one.
Titans is. I would assume it's the first one. Yes. I don't think there's a actual date, right?
I'm certain it's this year.
Okay, so Doom Patrol begins this year, premiere 2019. I'm trying to see where DC Universe. I'm gonna look up the streaming service announcement they had. I don't necessarily remember exactly.
I'm certain they gave a date. a time period.
Okay, here it is. Here's somebody made an article about everything you need to know, DC Universe, because I don't remember. I'm assuming this year.
It's got to be this year.
It's got to be this year, but I'm still looking right now. I haven't seen an actual. No, they all just keep talking about Doom Patrol. Okay, here's the official one that came out. Okay, Titans, then Harley Quinn, Swamp Thing. No, I said Titans expected to premiere sometime in 2018. That's it.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, there wasn't a fall 2018 or spring or summer or anything like that. Winter.
No doubt, with how streaming services go, they'll just drop a trailer and it'll be a month after the trailer,
or even a week after the trailer.
So here you go. Oh, cool. Right, let me just run by, just sub for it.
So Doom Patrol has been given a 13-episode series. I'm assuming they loved what they saw in the Doom Patrol episode.
I don't know, because they at this point in time they need every bit of content they can have.
Yeah. You think they just did it anyways? They're like, oh hey, it's like a mini backdoor pilot, whether you like it or not, it's gonna be a show.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
that
makes sense.
They're not going to do a WB and go, oh, we're going to make this thing and then never make it 10 years later. They can't afford to do that. They have to say they're going to make stuff and then bring the content out.
Well, at least with this, we know they're going to have a backdoor pilot sort of thing with that Doom Patrol episode in Titans. We already know they already cast some of the characters from Doom Patrol, so you'll see them there. They'll have a part to play, and then that'll, of course, spin off. So at least they'll have something to show the audience and us, just oh, here's the Doom Patrol that you're going to have to get used to for the show that's coming out next time. Yeah.
They must have cast them already, surely.
No, they did. Yeah. So Negative Man, Elastic Girl, Crazy Jane, and Dr. Niles Carter, they've all, I think, been cast. I think... Okay, no. Yeah, they've all been cast. Yeah. I thought one of them hasn't been cast, but yeah, because the Doom Patrol episode is the 5th episode of Titans, and I don't know if you want me to read the log line. I don't know if it's that important, but
you can if you want.
All right, so the log line for this official series for Doom Patrol will be: the Doom Patrol's members each suffered horrible accidents that gave them superhuman abilities, but also left them scarred and disfigured, traumatized and downtrodden. The team found purpose through the chief, who wrapped them together to investigate the weirdest phenomena in existence and to protect Earth from what they find. So that kind of thing. And so Cyborg will be the one to bring them. So maybe we can see Cyborg.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, Cyborg's going to be in it.
Okay, yeah. Who comes with them on a mission, hard to refuse, but with the warning that it's hard to ignore. Their lives will never ever be the same. Okay. I mean, this seems like it's already more fleshed out than the actual movie universe.
Well, yeah, but that's the problem, isn't it? How has a streaming service that's yet to even launch got a better direction than a massive studio? I don't understand.
Don't know. Nah, I can't help you there. The only movie I liked was Man of Steel and BVS. So... Yeah.
At this point, they kind of, as I said a second ago, they have to, everything they say they're going to make, they have to put out. And they're going to have to make things be backdoor pilots anyway.
Oh, so just doing it to do it. Yeah.
To another series, and that's going to set that up.
Look, they have Swamp Thing, which could set up Animal Man or Dark Universe,
I mean, why not?
Yeah, so, even though I'm off Jeff Johns comics right now because, Doomsday Clock is taking forever and I just hate that and he's lost my trust with that, I'm thinking this is still going to be really good in his hands. I think it's him and Greg Berlanti's hands, right?
I hope it is, yeah. It's him. It's those two, yeah.
I still have faith in this because I remember Flash Season 1, at least the first half of Season 1, it was really great. Those first 9 episodes. And then I think he just kind of left off and went to go do the movies. But I have a feeling this will be good. And I hope it works out because I hate having to trust them multiple times and them not being able to back me up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. This is Johns' key back into the movies.
So once he shows that, they love Titans, they love the direction. Johns, here's the movie universe.
If you can handle some of the characters the movies have been handling, and go, look, more people responded to how we did it.
Yeah.
Just think what you could do with a movie like that. Like,
That'd be great. I mean, they'd have to restart everything too in that movie universe if they do that. But I guess that's a conversation for another time.
DC has got built-in stories to reset things anyway.
It's true.
You could
Crisis.
do 1,000 Crisis. You could do Flashpoint.
It's true. True.
You could do Rebirth.
I wonder who's gonna play Cyborg though. This comes to an interesting point.
I think it's just because John's like Cyborg.
No, but who is gonna play Cyborg?
Oh, who's gonna be Cyborg?
I wonder. Curious. I wonder who's a black actor on television right now that would embrace the role. And Michael B. Jordan's too good for it. I think he was in that Flashpoint animated movie. I remember.
Well, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, it was Michael B. Jordan, wasn't it?
I don't know. I've never heard of that. I feel like people would have talked about that more if that was the case.
No, it was. See, Justice League, The Flashpoint Paradox, Cyborg, Victor Stone. They did talk about it. They talked about the possibility of him being Cyborg, and then it just went away because they actually cast Cyborg.
Huh. I never knew that.
That was very early on, like 2015, 2016.
Yeah, you learn every day.
So, I'm assuming we're going to be talking about the streaming service for a while because there's stuff is going to keep coming out, whether it be trailers, official casting, new shows that are going to be added, stuff like that. We're definitely going to be talking about it in the near future. So, with that, let's go to something that we're probably not going to be talking about for a while. We're not even going to be watching for a while, and that's going to be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 6, which is set to premiere in summer 2019. That's a long way, Mitch.
Oof, that is a long time.
It's a long time. Apparently, it's not even due to anything of what's happening in the MCU with Infinity War like that. It's just what ABC gave them.
Yeah, it's purely they think it's going to have a better chance in the summer compared to where it normally is.
I mean, anything, right? Anything for this show to keep going. If it went to Fridays, we're okay with that. Now it's going to the summer. There's just a passionate fan base for this show. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, small but vocal.
Yeah,
he does really well on like DVR stuff. So there's no them to like cancel this at all. It just keeps making money.
I always hear that with this show, like those two things are very synonymous with each other. Of after airing viewings, where it's like DVR or Hulu and all that type of thing, it's on demand and stuff like that, where people watch it after, and it's probably because Friday some people are probably out and they'll watch it like the next morning or whatever. I know I like to watch shows later now because I like to watch them on my own time, and I'm not necessarily one that's stuck there watching it live anymore. So I'm one of those people who
don't watch live anymore anyway. So,
it's just how it is now, right?
Yeah, like it's just changing times. Like people will eventually not even look at live ratings because they won't matter. You have to look at like other stuff.
Exactly.
It's a short season. It is only going to be 13 episodes. Well, I say it is only going to be 13 episodes. It could possibly get extended.
Yeah, they could always do that thing where they just extend it to another 22. I always thought S.H.I.E.L.D. did a great job with not being able to put in fillers and just have an overall story. As you would always say, they do 3 mini arcs throughout the whole season, and they definitely did one this season, which we'll talk about later, of course, in the spoiler talk.
That's probably another reason why. Like instead of doing three seasons in one, just do one season and have the budget of a normal season, and you can spread your stories out and have a bigger budget.
Yeah.
Right, it'll make sense. So.
I almost got left the show. We'll talk about it later, but I can't wait to see what the direction is gonna be.
I've seen so many people say that. It's just like what?
Oh, that they almost left the show.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, I think we all know why, but we'll talk about it later, of course. I'm trying to see what else is said in this article. I don't think not much else is said other than this.
Didn't really say much, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, we're just glad that it's coming back. I know me and Mitch, we've always continued to hype up the show because we really love it, and I don't think we ever think it's had a bad season. I think it just even this season it wasn't up to par, but it still was good, right?
It's like it's like the Marvel movies overall. There's not really a bad one say is bad. There's ones I don't particularly like.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's bad. Season 1 was fine. He's kind of Thor: The Dark World. It's kind of there. It's okay. It's not great.
Now, I gotta ask, does it? make you feel anyway that this show doesn't care what the movie does?
What do you mean?
Because it's all supposed to be connected, right? Does it make you feel any way
yeah.
that this show doesn't care what the movie does? So whatever Thanos, him, and this and that, like the show does what it does.
Yeah, I couldn't give two shits about that.
Right, like
I watch this show for these characters.
yeah.
I don't care about the other ones.
Okay.
When I'm watching this, so you know, like the whole summer thing is clearly a way to get around the whole Avengers Infinity War stuff.
Agree. Even though that's what ABC gave them, I'm sure there's some decision to say, hey, we should probably do it after Infinity War, so there's more stuff to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure they're gonna be told the ending to Infinity War, right? Because then they have to like work it around.
Everyone gets the scripts of these movies in Marvel. You know, the comics get them. The TV side's obviously going to get them because it's part of the same thing.
I mean, they're not Game of Thrones in it, where apparently they're filming multiple endings to Game of Thrones, so nobody knows the official ending besides the directors.
That's become a real thing these days.
Yeah, like to film fake stuff.
Let's like spend twice the budget and film all this fake shit and write all the fake shit.
I don't know how I feel about that. I like it in a sense because it takes away power from those dickheads who are trying to spoil people. But at the same time, it just feels extra. You know what I'm saying?
I
feel like they're doing too much.
Because you know you can have a leak and it can be fake or it can be real. You never really know, but you can still talk about it.
Yeah, as if it was real, because you know when we give what ifs, they're not necessarily spoilers. They're just what we think, and they could end up being true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I just think it's fun. I think it's a clever way to get around it.
It's a crazy world we live in. The spoiler kind of internet thing we live in, where it's just spoiler is a power. Having spoilers, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, like having a spoiler to something important. It has you get power over other people for some reason. It's crazy.
I ironically said it in society. I hate myself.
I don't even understand how they came about, but I love it that we live in a society meme.
It's the Dark Knight, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't even know how it got started.
It's just I had CJ from Hybrid just out on Twitter, and I'm like, what the hell? And it's like, oh, it's a meme. I get it.
I keep seeing the meme, and it's just funny. Anything is a meme nowadays, which I just kind of find hilarious.
Certain, like most things, it came from Reddit. Someone misquoted it, and then someone took the piss out of it, and it just.
Reddit is great. Okay, so that's how everything gets started, right? Reddit is the center of the universe. I love Reddit.
Center of the internet.
That too. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it with S.H.I.E.L.D. and kind of talking about something that will be on this fall as opposed to S.H.I.E.L.D. not being on this fall, which will be Arrow, the crossover, which will include now Batwoman.
Yawn. Don't care.
I haven't necessarily. Yeah, you're not necessarily a fan of these shows, so that makes sense. But I haven't even. I think I've seen the first episode for each of the shows, besides Black Lightning, which I saw like the first 5, and then I never saw the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how I feel about it because I don't necessarily know how these seasons ended. Since Netflix still has to deal with the CW, I think I will catch up on these over the summer. But is this one of those things that's cool? I don't know. Is it a little bit too late? Should Arrow have been canceled? I don't know.
To me, it really feels like, oh, Arrow's kind of done.
Well, it's not necessarily Arrow. It's the Arrowverse, which is like, even if Arrow was done, I'm sure they would have did something like this for Supergirl /Flash /Legends, where they would have added a new character. Because every year there's a new character added to these things, to the crossovers. Batwoman is just the latest line of them.
A Bat family member feels too much like what they've done with Arrow. So it's like, what can we get rid of Arrow that's still kind of similar to that tone? So we can't have Batman, we probably can't have Nightwing, we can't do this. Let's go with Batwoman.
See, I've seen some people say that where it's like, oh, it's a cop-out, like it's not Batman or any of the like actual Bat family and stuff like that. But some would argue Batwoman still has her place in the DC universe, and that she is an important character. She is a important character, especially to the LGBT community and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that they're happy about it. It's just
It
like,
just
all right.
like the crossover is just going to be porn, and she's going to be fucking everyone.
I hope that doesn't happen
That
again, because that's what happened with Alex from Supergirl, and I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of that. Though some would argue, oh, that's just what guys do every show, anyways. Like now, girls can do it. I don't really care. Like I came here for action and like a cool story. I didn't necessarily need
action.
Alex to be having sex with every other woman character.
There's some kind of action. It's not what you want.
There's not a lot of action because it's a TV show with all these high budget stuff, and they don't have a lot of money.
High budget's a strong word.
It's true. It's a sandwich, but it's just like cool. Like let's see how it goes. Like last year was the Ray. The year before that, what was it?
So I'm raiding the costume. That's gonna look awful.
Yeah, I like the costumes of Titans, and I'm like, I wish they could take stuff from that. You know what I'm saying?
I can imagine they're gonna look over at that and see the reaction people had to like the Robin one, and they're gonna go, "Oh, well, let's do something like that," and it's just gonna look like a CW version.
I think I had a lot of problems with the CW shows, and kind of why I stopped, because mostly there's other shows to watch, but the whole leather thing really turns me off a little bit. Of like, they all gonna look the same.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure like you have at least two sandwiches to throw at somebody to make a better suit that's not leather. So I don't know. I'm just very weird off it. Like I said, I haven't caught up, so I don't know how these shows end. If anything leads to it, there's like a spoiler, or there's like a tease, a hint that Batwoman Gotham. I mean, they did reference Gotham and Bruce Wayne over the seasons of Supergirl and Arrow, so I guess they're in the universe. I don't know. I didn't want to stay too much into it. Just wanted to mention this, and we'll see how it goes. Let me see if they have anything else to say about this. It's the same thing. The multi-night crossover. I wonder if Black Lightning will be added. No.
Black Lightning in the same universe as the others.
It should be. I don't see why not. Like, if you're gonna have it on CW, might as well have it in the same universe.
Yeah.
It probably isn't, but it's one of those wait and see ones.
Yeah. It no doubt will be, because it's the CW. Why would you not have it? But I suppose didn't they pick Black Lightning up from somewhere else?
What do you mean? Oh, Fox. That's why. It's one. Remember, like, what had Supergirl first? Was it CBS?
NBC, wasn't it? Same people.
I thought it was CBS for some reason.
I mean, it could be CBS. I don't know American network, so I'm just like.
I think it was CBS, but yeah, they had Supergirl initially, and then they didn't bring it back. CW brought it back, and I'm gonna assume that season 2 is when you'll see more Black Lightning, like in this universe type of stuff, because it was initially on Fox. They had filmed it for Fox, and it was gonna be separate, but now it's not. So I don't know. I'm just one of those guys that like I want to see all of them together, anyways, because that's kind of the only fun I'll have with these shows. Because I just think they've gone a little bit too campy for me, which is weird.
They went a little too campy 5 years ago.
No, like they were just campy enough, I thought, and now it's just maybe a little bit too much, especially with this season of Flash where I saw Elastic Man. I was like, I just can't handle that. That's just too much cheese for me. I love cheese, but that's just way too much for me.
He was really poorly done.
Yeah, I didn't like that suit either. It was like a weird, like he got it from his bedroom type of thing, like his bed sheets. I don't know. So that's it for Batwoman coming on to the Arrowverse. We'll see how it goes. I of course will hopefully like to catch up on these shows over the summer and then restart them all again in the fall when they come back and kind of keep up with them. I remember I did talk about the crossover last time around, but I didn't even catch up really on the episodes. And the good thing is you don't necessarily need to, I guess. For the crossover, they made it fairly simple most of the time.
Just W for the story, so you're probably not going to miss it.
I follow for Stephen Amell, so he's still my guy.
Exactly, you don't follow for the story.
Yeah, he's still my guy. So, all right. I think that is going to be it for the news. And now we're going to get into the shows of the week. So before we get into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5 talk, I did want to talk a little bit about Krypton and kind of where it's at right now. It's Krypton Season 1, Episode 9, which is the second to last episode. The last episode will be airing this Wednesday, I believe, or Tuesday. I don't really remember when it comes out. Yeah, so I know you kind of did you drop off at episode 2 or after?
I watched episode 2 and I was like, I'm shitless.
So I don't know. Did you want me to give like a brief like explanation or something like that?
No,
Like,
you can do what you want.
all
I'll
right.
probably watch them in the background.
So for Krypton, it's 10 episodes, which I love. But the thing I hate about the show is that it just feels so much in a little bit of amount of time. Whereas Brainiac feels like such a world-ending type of villain, and you're doing on the first season, like if this was supposed to be their Game of Thrones, they're doing seasons 1 through 7 in one season, which wouldn't have worked for Game of Thrones because you had to build up to it. And I think the thing that really pissed me off, like I really like got mad, was last episode when they're in the Fortress of Solitude and S.H.I.E.L.D. is like talking to one of the characters saying, "Man, I remember I used to just be this kid on the street, like no one knew, and now I'm this big thing." Like it literally happened 8 episodes ago. What do you can't have this big journey and just think like, "Oh man, I remember when I used to be." Literally was a couple weeks ago when you're that. Like that's not even a remember. It's like, man, I still feel like it.
That also sounds like a season, like the last episode line. Not
Yeah.
an episode.
It did feel like a last episode though, because Brainiac finally came. Like he's here. Brainiac's on Krypton. So but it just like I don't know. Maybe I'm comparing it too much to Game of Thrones, which I find to be the best TV show ever. But
Probably.
it's like if the White Walkers broke the wall in the 8th episode. It just feels like that didn't make any sense. Right? That wouldn't make any sense.
I mean, I don't, it's a hard one because it depends what kind of story you're trying to tell.
Oh yeah, so there's a lot of like, but I did get mad about that, and I did hate that it feels like they're doing too much too fast. Nothing's really being earned. They're just doing things at a time. I think probably the most well-written character is Nisa Vex, which is like the daughter of the guy who's trying to like take over the government and stuff like that. She's probably the character who has earned the most out of all of them. Maybe even Adam Strange a bit, though I saw somebody say Adam Strange should have probably been Booster Gold, which makes a lot more sense. But
yeah,
because of the whole like shtick he does, and kind of there's a moment where he says like he just wanted to be a hero, he just wanted to be a part of the Justice League and stuff like that. He looked up to them, and nobody thought he could be a hero. Like they name drop all that. They name drop like Green Lantern, I think in the Power Ring, Speed Force. They name drop like everything. But. And I love all that. I love like the stuff. I do really enjoy a lot of what's going on of them trying to figure out how to get Brainiac away or to destroy Brainiac. They're probably going to release Doomsday to kill Brainiac, but it just feels
like
really fast.
It's a strange story because you know what happens.
Yeah.
You know they lose and Brainiac wins.
That he takes Kandor, which I'm going to argue that he's going to end up not taking Kandor. I think they're going to do this whole thing where they actually change the timeline. Because if you're going to... I get a prequel, right? I'm not a fan of prequels because of what you said. You know what's going to happen. But this isn't connected to anything. Might as well just do be as crazy as possible.
Yeah. Gotham it. Yeah.
A little bit, but like I really enjoy this more than Gotham. My main problem with Gotham was that they sold it to me as a Jim Gordon show, and then it made it into a young Bruce Batman show. Which
right, because it's only got one season left and it's done.
I've only watched the first 6 episodes, and like 5 episodes of season 4.
Watch them again, and I can be happy.
Yeah, but Brainiac looks great. I think a lot of this looks good. We don't know what happened to Adam Strange. He possibly sacrificed himself and he went into the future or something like that. But I just feels like a lot. Like they're asking a lot of me to feel that these characters have risen up to fighting Brainiac when just a couple of weeks ago they were just chilling at a bar.
Yeah, like how big of a threat is Brainiac really?
A big threat. He's about to take a piece of the planet away and put it in his collection.
In the context of the show, like how big of a threat is he really when these random like street guys.
Yeah, like Segel was really just a kid on the street who was like hustling people and getting into fights, and now he's fighting Brainiac, who's almost really unkillable and stuff like that. So I just thought if you were gonna have this over multiple seasons, you could have led it up to Brainiac. Because what are you gonna do after? What's after this? Brainiac seems like a lot.
They do the new Bendis villain from Action Comics 1000.
Oh, yeah.
Jump straight to that. Why not?
It just feels like a lot, and I would have rather this be like another season, and this first season could have been about like just to overthrow the government type of thing. Like that's almost like season 1 of Game of Thrones, and then remember one of them
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but yeah, it is what it is, and we'll see how it works out in the very end. I think so far it's been enjoyable, even though it kind of makes me mad sometimes of how much they're asking me to believe these characters are doing what they're doing in such a short amount of time. I don't know whether that's because they want to get everything out of the gate, or is that just like, was it supposed to be multiple seasons and they're like, maybe you won't have all those seasons, so we just got to do it the first one?
It's that thing where you don't really know how a show's going to do, so just go and tell the story you want to tell, and like the best story you can. And they wanted to tell a Brainiac story, and if they got renewed, they got renewed. Like, great, we got the story we wanted to tell out.
Everything has to be a progression, right? And I don't know, how do you progress after Brainiac? It has to be something bigger, because it always has to be something bigger. I just don't necessarily see it, but
be something bigger, because S.H.I.E.L.D's not gonna go bigger from this.
Like world-ending type of thing. Yeah.
It can't go bigger than what we just had, so it's gonna have to.
I guess.
Come back down to earth, for lack of a better phrase.
I think the creators or the showrunners did mention something about the Thanagarians, so that could be a season 2. The Thanagarians and their planet, kind of like that, and maybe because I think, if I remember correctly, this show kind of states that they don't go outside of the planet, and after this season they might start going to, which leads to like seeing the Thanagarians and maybe seeing Oa, like the planet for the Green Lanterns. Like that would be cool, wouldn't it?
But isn't that going to your thing of you're doing too much too quick soon?
But you're already like up this high. The only thing to go bigger is to go to another planet.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you're already like having Brainiac take piece of Krypton.
But, like, can they?
Also, I think they make this thing where Superman is Zod's cousin.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Well, aren't they already? All aren't Kryptonians related anyway?
I don't know, honestly.
Maybe. This is the whole thing chamber or whatever the fuck they have.
That's like a weird thing. And then because Superman is the first natural birth, and that's like what they're gonna like do here. That Superman is the first. I still think it should have been a Jor-El story, but all right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, we'll see how it goes for the last episode. I have enjoyed it. Just feels too much, but it is. I hope it does get a season 2. I don't know if you're gonna catch up for season's end, but
catch up by next week.
Hopefully, he doesn't drink himself to death trying to catch up.
I mean, it'll be on in the background. I might not even watch it.
You'll be like half and half.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. All right. With that, we are now going to get into the kind of headline to this podcast, which is going to be talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5. The last episode, but mostly the whole season altogether, because it did finally end 22 episodes later. They didn't go back in time, I guess. That was like one of the things we thought was going to happen.
You had to point that out, didn't you? You couldn't have just left it in the chat.
Well,
where it was fun.
I was also very wrong in a lot of things. I remember I thought that was going to be the Thunderbolts.
A lot of people thought Thunderbolts. It's fine.
What did I think? I thought Mac and Yo-Yo were going to leave.
I mean, I would have put money on Mac leaving, to be honest.
I mean, it made sense because of like him fighting with Fitz and all that. Of course, spoiler warning if you didn't know. Spoiler warning. This is the whole season and together the ending.
Heavy spoilers.
Yeah.
Heavy spoilers.
So it ends. Well, let's just straight up talk about the ending since that's the most recent thing.
It ends in way the season started.
It really does, with the whole picture of two people on an island. Which Mitch is sad that Coulson is gonna die. I'm not. I feel like if Coulson accepted it, I'm accepting it.
Oh, it's just, he's been there from the start, and
It makes sense. I get you. I understand you.
if they killed Tony in the movies,
Which I'm fine with. Like Tony accepts it, I accept it. If they kill Cap, like that'd be over. Like you can't kill Cap.
I couldn't accept that.
No, but you make a lot of sense of Coulson is kind of the one that started this, and he's been here he's the OG, and you should feel a little sad. I am, but not as much as probably a lot of other people, but that's because I've accepted him dying, and who I didn't accept was Fitz. I honestly... Huh?
Fitz isn't dead.
No, I know, but his initial, like, shock of death.
Yeah, that was so unceremonious.
I did not accept that. I honestly didn't.
I'm not sure if they actually did just kill him or not, and yeah, they killed him.
You should have saw me messaging Mish. I was like, F the show, F Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I hate the show. I never liked it to begin with. Hope the show burns.
You're not the one I had messages like that from, so.
It was just, you're right, so unceremonial, kind of like, it just happened, and then he said, I think my leg's broken. Mac, I think it's my leg. Oh, man.
What exactly happened to him?
He got cut right there, like a piece of metal just got into his stomach, and he's dead. All that blood loss.
I just couldn't. The angle they showed it at, it wasn't quite clear to me what I was looking at. It's like, I think you cut him in half. I can't tell. Is he just crushed? That what's going on? But...
I thought he got impaled by a piece of metal that was falling, and it just.
There's that as well. It's like, has he just been? Is it a pipe? Like, what is it? I never got.
I thought it was like a metal sheet type of thing. I don't know. From what I could tell.
I was too busy
Yeah, I was too busy like getting mad at the show too.
I wasn't mad. I was in like a fetal position.
Yeah, I was sad and mad at the same time because it just felt like no one expected that. No one really. I did not expect. That's what I'm saying. Like I was okay with Coulson dying because this whole season they gave you this thing of Coulson might die. And we talked about earlier, like this year, I thought Coulson was gonna die. I felt like it was time. It was time to pass the baton, so to speak, to Daisy. Even though they kind of did, but they didn't. He'll probably be at the end of the next season or whenever the finale is. But I was okay with it because they led you to this, and they kind of did it. And you're telling you in your face that he's gonna die, but nobody wanted to accept it.
Yeah, but here's the worst part of it: he didn't have to die.
It's true. He could have saved himself because technically they still stopped him without the thing.
He wasn't the reason why. I mean, I say he didn't have to die. He actually did have to die, but he wasn't the reason why they changed the timeline.
Yeah.
So everything they told you, it's like, actually, no, it wasn't Coulson, it was Fitz.
Wait. Wait. Why? Wait. What?
Right. When Fitz gets crushed.
Yeah.
Robin says something's different.
Yeah, he's the one that changes it.
Yeah. So Fitz was the one that had to die for the timeline to...
Yeah, that's a little weird. They probably should have had her saying it changed when he didn't take the serum, right?
I mean, no, because it just subverts what you're thinking. Because then it makes sense because Fitz has created a paradox, and that's why time isn't fixing it. Because there's two Fitzes in the same timeline.
Oh, that's very true. Ever since Fitz came back, there were. How come nobody remembered that there was technically two Fitzes in the timeline?
Well, they did. They talked about it at the end.
No, but like when it happened, when they first came back.
Trying to figure out why, like no one ever thought, hold on, it's because Fitz. There's two Fitzes in one timeline. Maybe that's why. But
I don't know. I should have looked on Reddit because I'm sure Reddit had a theory about it of like there's two Fitz. Like I'm sure that was like something that they said initially because Reddit always has the answers. Because there's like a million people just guessing stuff and somebody's bound to get something right. But
if you throw enough shit out, well, it's gonna stick.
Exactly. So it's one of those things that this is great because I love the character of Fitz, and now he won't be evil Fitz. He'll still be like good Fitz in a way. You know what I'm saying?
He'll still be evil Fitz.
No, because
you think this Fitz hasn't even gotten married yet.
Yeah.
this is all prior to that.
Yeah,
And
when he
whole,
like all was badass. Yeah,
whole Evil Fits thing happened after he did that. So he hasn't got rid of any of that. So he can still be the Evil Fit.
I think the way they're gonna get around that is it was based out of the need of what happened at that moment. I think they got locked down. Is that what it was?
He said that it's like the stress and anxiety.
Yeah, so
it splits his brain in half.
I think that's where they're gonna get away with it and saying that Evil Fits, I guess technically still, but he's not gonna come out like he did in season 5 because they're not. It's not gonna be like that situation again, or it might be, but they're just gonna get around it and say he didn't.
That amount of stress.
Yeah,
like it's kind of a cop out to kill him off and then go, oh yeah, no, we've got Fitz in space. No, yeah, I've got to go find him because you've just undone everything you did with Fitz.
Yeah, a little bit, right? Like with all that character that with Evil Fitz and him having to realize is he really evil and stuff like that. I thought that was all great, and then they kind of really just undid it. And you questioned, was this because they got renewed, or was this before? Because it really could have gone either way, right? It could have been, oh, we got renewed, we should bring Fitz back.
Did I question that?
Yeah, you said, was this after they knew they were going to get picked up for another season, or was it before?
I don't remember asking that at all.
Here, I'll bring it up.
I don't think so.
Because it makes sense that if they just initially killed him off, and that could have been the finale, right? Like, Fitz is dead and all that. But I still thought that maybe, like, it could have ended on a cliffhanger like that of Gemma trying to go find Fitz.
Yeah.
Even though it still does, I thought even if this was the finale, they still could have ended it like that.
I was gonna say, like, if this wasn't the original ending, it still works as a way to end the show. So it's whatever.
Here, I'm trying to see where you said it because you had a good point at it though.
I don't remember that at all.
Here. Let's see. Yeah, man, that was so unceremonious. No way they were gonna leave it there. Who knows if they didn't get renewed?
That's not me saying if they changed it.
No, who knows if they didn't get renewed?
Yeah, no, that's not me saying like that's not me saying that they changed it when they got that if they got renewed or not. That's just me saying like the way they did it.
Oh, such a cliffhanger. That
would be the end of that character.
Oh, I thought you were saying it in a sense that if they didn't get renewed, maybe they didn't keep it like that. Maybe they keep it a little different.
When I say like who knows if they get renewed, it's like, well, who knows if they're going to find him?
Oh, that's true.
Well, it's been renewed, so we can now have that episode where they find him, a bit like Gemma on the planet.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because if you didn't have that renewed, you always have that. You could always question like, did they ever find him? Did they not? And it's not particularly a decent ending for those two characters. It's quite like.
I'm trying to think like, is it going to be Simmons on herself, or is it going to be the team trying to go find him? I assume it has to be the team, right? And that's where they're going to find the next villain for next season, which is going to be whenever they find Fitz.
No doubt the villain in the next season will be a Skrull.
You think so? Because Captain Marvel, they're in space. Yep. We just had the Kree.
Yep.
Okay. That makes
sense.
Plus,
we know there's probably going to be Skrulls in Avengers 4 because the Japanese sets for Ronin or Clint, the extras had to be okay with wearing facial prosthetics.
Okay.
Why else would you need a prosthetic if you weren't going to have like a scrolly chin?
Scrolly chin. But yeah, so that was the ending. But let's kind of look at it as a whole season of where it started. So it started in the future, and that was kind of the first arc. The second arc would have to be kind of with Hell, and then the third arc would have to be Gravitron, right?
Yeah. Which, by the way, like Talbot was packing some heat in that suit, front and back. Like he embarrassed Chloe Bennett in that suit. Just fuck. I don't swing that way, but man, there's something there.
I don't know if I was the only one, but I thought it felt a little anticlimactic with the fighting. I don't know. Maybe it's because they don't have the budget for that, and it's just kind of like they're trying to be the budget for that.
I think it was over so quickly.
Yeah, that's probably why. That's probably why I felt that way, because it was over so quickly. But other than that, I thought it was all like pretty great in a sense of like the of where the characters were and how they got here. Especially that 100th episode. That's the highlight of the season.
What was the 100th episode again?
Man, them getting married.
it was. But it's not a highlight anymore because it doesn't like it's null and void because that Fitz is dead.
Didn't they record it? If they record it, they could show it to Fitz.
Yeah, but it's just like, oh, she's not married to that Fitz.
Oh, you're one of those people who are like, that's not really him. It is him.
I mean, it is him.
He just didn't live through it.
It's just not that Fitz. She didn't marry that one. She married another one.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I'll agree with that. The way they leave this, it's weird.
It's weird that I'm looking at it that way because it's no different to the whole Captain America Secret Empire thing, and I'm like, nah, it's the same person. Whereas it's not the same. It's not her Fitz. It's a different Fitz.
I get what you mean. I don't know. We're gonna have a whole year till we see this show.
Yeah,
a whole year. So it's gonna be a little weird. And
it's kind of. I think this show needs it after that season.
Oh yeah, it was a crazy season. Yeah.
Well, like heavy that final episode went. It's just like I'm emotionally drained. It doesn't help. I just had Infinity War 3 weeks prior. Like I need a break from the heavy shit, and then come back swinging.
You know, I think I'm still okay with how everything turned out in hindsight because, you know, initially we thought they might go back in time or into the future and see their cells and stuff like that. Break through that way. There could be thunderbolts and stuff like that. But in hindsight, I enjoyed the season. Like we said, it's not necessarily the best, but it isn't the worst.
It definitely had its ups and downs, and like its peaks were some of the best the show's had. Its lows weren't some of the worst the show's had.
Agree.
It was either really good or bit. It wasn't even bad. It's just kind of it just dragged. You could feel, especially the Ruby stuff. You could feel that they had to have something in the middle to drag the season out. And Ruby like that.
I wanted to ask, what was something you wanted like that popped out to you this season? Like,
something
that you want to talk about like in depth style, because
I really don't know.
Like there's 3 arcs technically. There's the I don't know whether you want to like rate the arcs, which one was better than the other and stuff like that.
I mean 3, 1, 2.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
There you
go. Yeah, because
it started out good. I think the first arc kind of again it dragged it a little bit, and then the second one just dragged, and then the third one is like, no, we have to do stuff now.
And I hope Agent May doesn't come back, and I'm one of the few people who doesn't really like her. I'm kind of over her already.
If she doesn't come back, I'll be surprised. Like, yes, you can kind of tie her character in a little bow there. Yeah. And it's like, no, Coulson's done, I'm done. That's just... Yeah. But at the same time, how can you have this show without those two?
Well, I mean, you have Daisy, Fitz, and Simmons.
And Mac and Yo-Yo.
They should probably went off and gone to go get a hut or something.
Go get a what?
A hut. Like, they should have just went with Coulson and me.
I thought it said a hood. I'm like, wow.
No, a hut. Because, like, just go live your life. Go have a kid. Y'all have some problems that y'all need to get fixed, so go off. And I just would have left it as Fitz, Simmons, and Daisy. Even though I would have made it so Daisy... I thought Daisy should have been the anything. Her character made it so, like, she wasn't ready. But I thought they could have made it this season for her to be ready. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I like how they did it. Because it's still... as they said, they're going to tie off the show but leave it so there's more. So, and I feel the way they've done it, they have tied off the show where she wasn't ready. No, like, yes, she was written to not be ready. But, like, her character was... She's not emotionally ready. Now she's lost Coulson. She can get to be emotionally ready for it.
Let's imagine that this was the last season and there wasn't one next year. Would you have been okay with her not being the leader and that ending it off like that?
I think, to be honest, this is the strongest season finale I think they've had.
Yeah.
So I've been...
You would have been okay. You would have been okay with just the whole show ending, Daisy not being the leader. Like, it makes sense for Mac to be the leader. He's the Boy Scout, and he has that thing. They built it up this whole season of him being that guy to make the moral choice, especially him versus Fitz and stuff like that. It makes sense.
Like, Mac's always been presented as the type of guy that should be leading. They've always kind of told you that.
Yeah, I agree.
No, Daisy, she's not. She's too impulsive. Really.
But I guess it's because she's the main character or like the main like in front that it makes me think that she probably should have been the leader. Like they should have probably made it that way because
But I completely understand why you think the way you think.
Yeah.
I'm just fine with how it is. It gives more room to work with as well. Where would you go if she's leading? That character's done.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if you did? What if this wasn't the last season? You just leave it
Then
like that.
it still works the same way.
Yeah. I thought you could still make it as she's the leader and just kind of have like the last. Well, what's the last season gonna be about? Is that the official last season, or they just said it's season 6? They don't know if there's a season 7 or not.
No, people will tell you like, oh, it's clearly the final one. They never say it's the final one.
Yeah.
In fact, they say the complete opposite. They're going, no, we hope it will carry on for a long while.
How long can you keep the show? I mean, you could technically keep any show going for a long time.
The thing, it's definitely got at least one more in it, just because the way they left it off.
Especially I need my Fitz back.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing I'm not happy about. It's like, where's my Fitz?
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on where they take it, depending on if I think they can carry on.
Yeah.
As go as long as you have stories you want to tell and you think they're as good as what you've done before, go for as long as you like. If you're bogged down and you're repeating shit, stop. You've gone past your mark.
I wonder if they'll, because you know how this season very much referenced season 4 and even some other seasons. I wonder if they'll bring something up from another season for season 6.
Absolutely everything.
Yeah, that's true.
You went back to the first episode with the centipede serum.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how far the show's been. You know what I'm saying? I did want to say one thing though. Shout out to Agent Davis.
Oh, the survivor.
Shout out to Agent Davis. He has been through the show since season 1 and has survived all the way to the end. Mitch doesn't remember this, but there were a handful of moments throughout the season from like the halfway mark, or specifically I guess once like S.H.I.E.L.D. gets caught up with all the agents again. But there is a couple moments where Agent Davis is like talking to a bunch of people, even Deke. And he's just giving this story of how he survived something. And Deke's like, wow, I can't believe you did all that. That's crazy. Like, how do you not remember that? Like, that was like a big, like, funny moment.
Look, the Discord's spoken about the female agent that's with him. I don't remember. I remember her now, but when they were talking about it, I had no clue who the fuck they were talking about. It's like, if it ain't one of the main lot, they're just there. I don't remember extra faces. No.
Like when I look at this this image of Agent Davis and Fitz in season 1, when he's just like, Fitz is just a little boy.
He's changed so much.
Yeah, Agent Davis has.
Like, I mean, to be fair, they've all changed a lot, and a lot of it is makeup. But like Fitz, he's definitely hit puberty in the last 5 years.
Dude, he was even there with Ghost Rider.
I mean, yeah, Davis has been in all the seasons.
Yeah, Davis and S.H.I.E.L.D. arrive at the prison. Wow, like, Davis is one of the unsung hero. You know, he's actually married to the lady who played Jaing in Daisy's mom in season 2.
Is he actually?
Yeah, he's married to her.
Damn, he drew the short straw there.
Oh, what?
That woman's a bitch. I'm only going by a character.
Yeah.
She's like, a bitch.
I think it's just crazy that he's been here so long, and some people don't remember him, some people won't like acknowledge his career, but I will. Salute to Agent Davis.
I don't acknowledge it now. It's just he's they could call him Forget Me Not, and I believe it. Because to reality's really come a long way. I actually forget who he is.
Oh man, it's just crazy. I need to try to find a clip of like when he's telling Deke about that. Also, where's Deke?
Deke went off. He said it was going to go off. That's fine.
So they're not acknowledging if he's still alive or not until next season, right?
Probably.
Or do you think they're ever going to acknowledge?
I mean, I could go my entire life without knowing what happened to him.
I thought he was okay. I thought he was nice.
I mean, I like Deke, but I don't think they need to address it. Knowing these writers, they probably will.
It was a weird one, though. He got lemons on Daisy's bed.
So I fucking nice lemon. Creep put lemons in my bed.
That was so funny. But yeah, I'm trying to see what else there is. I think we talked a lot about what happened throughout the season, kind of like the arcs of certain characters. Yeah, I don't know. Do you got anything? Do you remember?
No, like it's all I kind of really got to say is it's gonna leave them. They got a fresh start now.
Yeah.
They've got them to this point, to a breaking point, and they can kind of now go where they want.
It's gonna be weird without Coasting. You're right. It's gonna be very weird.
It's gonna kind of be horrible for me at the start. It's just like, but where's Coulson?
At least it's 13 episodes. Like, I wonder if they'll acknowledge, like, at the very, whenever it's the finale of this show, like, they'll visit his grave or something.
Well, they had the plaque on the thing, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, that too. Yeah, that's true. I swear, they made it so. Oh, they finessed me so hard. I thought it was for Fitz.
Same. And it's just like, no, it's Coulson.
And then when Gemma was doing that whole thing of like, we never forget them, I was like, you're hurting me. And then Coulson just talks. I was like, what? Like, he's not dying? What? I don't get it. Like, I was just so confused, but and towards the end, like, it made sense, and I was relieved that Fitz is out there somewhere.
I mean, yeah, like everyone forgot that. It's like, so they what now? It's like, well, there's space Fitz.
You know what? Next time I'm gonna be on Reddit for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and see what they have to say, because you know Reddit, like, they have all the answers. Because like we said,
it's gonna be crying emojis.
Yeah, probably. So
it'd be like the CW Reddit where they change the Daredevil like every season.
That happens?
It's happened twice.
Let me see. Reddit. I'm gonna look up Reddit Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Let's see if anybody has anything to say before we end the show, because we do have a couple of minutes. Any last thoughts?
No, I'm excited to see where they go. I enjoyed the season for the most part.
Somebody said, let's stop talking about Chloe Bennett's hair and start appreciating how she had her character develop so well over 5 seasons.
Okay, actually, that's one thing I kind of like. There's nothing. No, it's not her hair. It's the costume. They changed it, and I don't like it. It looks different, and I don't like it. Yeah, it's different. Okay, I don't know what they've done. I think they've got rid of. It's either how it fits, or they've got rid of a panel, and I don't know what it is. It just. But in that finale where she's fighting Graviton, it looks different.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I'm just like, what have you changed on that suit?
You know what?
It looks. It's not the right word. It looks flat.
I wonder what Clark Gregg is doing now since he's not gonna be on S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore.
He's doing
Captain Marvel. Yeah.
He's
still in the Marvel world.
But see, like, even that's gonna be hard to watch.
Oh yeah, because we've already.
It's like no, like Coulson, don't go to S.H.I.E.L.D. Go somewhere else. I don't want you to die.
Ian DeCaster, that's how you're saying. Fitz is doing a war movie. Okay, see Fitz.
Oh, the movie. Good on him. Good boy.
What is Chloe Bennett doing? Let's see. Before we end.
Probably regret for going out with Logan Paul.
She's I think a couple movies. She got that going for her. Who should we let me know?
We're gonna end it on this. What's the bets that they're gonna be in Avengers for?
I bet against it 100%, whatever it is.
Because Avengers 4, I don't actually think it's gonna happen, just for the sake of argument.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing reshoots this entire year.
I would love it if they showed up, but I'm gonna bet against it.
And they haven't got a scheduling issue anymore. They could slip them in somewhere.
Even for one shot, like just one shot.
Yeah. See, here's the thing now. I think they've been quite clever. I don't want these characters in the movies without Coulson. It's the reason people wanted the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the movies was so Coulson can show them that he's alive again.
Coulson's gonna be really young in Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be 20 years younger.
Damn, crazy.
I can't wait to see what Sam Jackson looks like.
Man, that movie's not till February. It's crazy. It's a long time away.
It's March.
All right. Well, we are gonna end it there. That's gonna be it for me and Mitch. Of course, we'll be back most likely with the film podcast that'll be out most likely tomorrow. Of course, the comic podcast and all that. Everything should be coming back up in terms of the cast, and just look look at it on the various social medias and Google us, Comic Book Cast. Follow us on Twitter, of course, me and Mitch, Halftime Joe, Mitch692. And we'll see y'all next time.
Toodles.